Curve-Unplugged. I am your girl, Nikki Dollars. I will be your moderator for today. And today's topic is, girl, are you the reason you're still single?
That part.
So, from my right to left, I have Miss Cola T. Harris, Coach Keish,
Hey.
Perla Celeste, and Miss Keena Monique. So, again, we have a nice blend because we have two married people here, and the rest of us are single and ready to mingle. Yay! So, and they're going to give us a perspective of being married, coming from single to being married, and maybe give us some, tips on what we need to do to catch somebody. So, I want to talk about, ladies, we're single. I've been single for a while, and I don't want to play into I hear so much of you single ladies and men say, I was reading that the ratio to men and women are different. That's why there's so many single women. And then you hear that the education, which is true, there's more women graduating from colleges. And my biggest thing now, which I don't think we've ever had to deal with before, is social media, dating sites, and all this technology. So I want to ask you single women first. Do you feel that technology, dating apps, have an effect on dating? Like, sometimes I feel that people have more options because you maybe have 20 people you've met online. So if you don't like me, you have 19 more to choose from.
Just swipe.
Yeah, just keep swiping. You said something I didn't like, so. And then not only that, if you're out on a date or, now the thing is texting and messaging. So instead of calling you up, they're on the app. Hey, how you doing? You always get that good morning beautiful text or good morning beautiful message. And there's no real human interaction. So you guys agree or disagree with that?
Now, okay, let me see. Now, I feel like apps have created a whole other way of dating. So I don't think they're necessarily bad. I think it's good. I think it's good to have options. If your work schedule doesn't allow, we know plenty of women that their work schedule doesn't allow to date so much and be out there in the bar or in the club, in the lounge, in the library, whatever it is for them, swiping is the next best thing. So, I personally like them. I know plenty of people that have met, significant others and have married them or had lasting relationships. And, I'm currently on a couple. Perla, Celeste. So, I personally like them. I think that they're good. Are they too much and give people, too many options? Yes, in a way, yes. They makes people sort of disposable. But, if you just state what you want, lately I've been swiping and right away, instead of even a hello or whatever, it's like, what do you want? What are you looking for? To me, I find those are the ones that only want one night stands and want to make sure they clear that out. But instead of just telling you, they ask you what you want. So it's like, well, why don't you just tell me what you want? Because I played with one and I said, oh, I want marriage. I said divorce and carriage and marriage. Something like that, and I still haven't heard a response. I put it's like, you want to I'll scare you off quick, but yeah. So.
Okay. What about you, Keena?
I personally have never done a dating site, but I have heard success stories. But as far as social media, I do think that it is good to have, not too much to to pry and spy, but a lot of times we all have that shadow self. And on social media, you can actually see what that person may have liked or things this person posts that you probably was like, oh, well, I didn't know they had that side to them. So it actually gives you a chance to know that other part of the person. So I think social media is good.
Okay. As far as dating apps, I do think that it's a good and bad. But I think that's a good and bad with everything because you're sitting at your computer and you have a million people pretty much you can, at the click of your tip of your fingertips, you can really have access to them versus if I'm out at an event, getting that human interaction. It may not be a million people, maybe it's 50, and getting their attention or someone getting your attention, maybe you do you have more options on the internet, on dating apps, I think that what we talked about earlier is safe or better for us to set standards, because we do get a lot of people that want to play games. Like, you have to weed through. If you have 100 people in your inbox, you may have 20. No, I take that back. You may have about 5 or 7 that are real serious.
Right.
So I think that the big thing is to set standards and set boundaries. This is what I want, and you can't waver. If you know you want a relationship and this guy's just saying he's looking for a good time, then don't entertain it.
Right.
You know, but a lot of times we get it, we fall, even without social media, we fall into, well, you know, he doesn't want a relationship because he hasn't met me yet. So, you know, once he gets to know me, here we go. And I don't think that has anything to do with dating apps.
Right, we fool ourselves.
Right. Technology, I think not only dating, but I think even just people in general, we don't crave that human interaction. I do still. But when I could just text you like, what's up? We ain't got to call. Like, what you doing? How you doing? All right, then have a good day. Versus before we would call, hey girl, what's going on? You know, you good? How the kids? How your mom and them? We don't have that anymore because it's just so simple to just send off a quick, let me just quickly text and see what they doing. Oh, they said they're cool. All right, let's roll.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you guys about technology, because I know you guys aren't on any dating apps. Has that been an issue in your relationships? Stop. Yeah. So what, y'all own dating apps or no?
I'm not on nothing.
So let's technology pose a problem. Do you find that do you talk more with your spouses or less?
Well, to even take it back, I mean, me and my husband met on social media.
Okay.
That's how we became friends. MySpace. So we're social media.
Wow.
Y'all
Yeah.
always
Take it back.
y'all took it back. We need to
Yeah.
bring MySpace back. I think
Yeah.
better
I
people on
have good
MySpace.
experiences with MySpace.
Oh,
Are you
wow.
kidding?
Nobody liked me.
I
mean,
thought my friends
well,
from
I guess I
California
didn't
on MySpace.
I
so
really
I'm
didn't have
happy.
a-
That was like one good thing.
I really didn't have a profile. Like, I didn't know what.
No, I mean, well, okay, MySpace days, we weren't like checking for each other, but we've definitely been in contact with each other since MySpace days. I guess the first few times we probably started like chatting was Facebook. It was definitely Facebook. And then Instagram came along, and there was man crush Mondays and woman crush Wednesdays, and well, he was a crush one day, so there's that. So our thing is technology, I guess you could say. So
Okay.
we do communicate via text, like a lot, actually. Like a lot. We could be in the house together, like he can be in the other room and I'm in the bedroom, and versus me getting up to go into the other room to talk to him, I'll just
You
text
text
him. Yeah. I'll be like, babe, what you doing? And he'll be like, nothing, watching this movie. What movie is it? And I'll decide whether or not I want to watch that movie with him. Oh, well, have fun, watching something that's not a thriller, because I don't feel like scaring myself tonight, and when we're away from each other, we more so text each other before we call each other. I'm definitely not I don't really like talking on the phone unless it's like one of those conversations where you need to be on the phone. Like, I will call him if I'm like heated about something, like, babe, let me tell you what happened. Like, yeah, but if I'm just like, babe, I'm having a great day, I'll just text it to her.
Okay.
I don't think texting is killing our relationship. He's not a talker anyway. I don't know. Have any of you ever talked to him?
No.
He's not a talker. See, he's not a talker. Write him on Facebook. He'll write you back.
Okay. Cool.
Well, I did meet my wife on social media. I honestly have never met anybody that I dated on social media. And I think that probably is because you'll like me if you meet me. You probably won't like me on social media.
Which
You know?
site?
Any site.
No, where did you meet her at?
Oh, I met her at a boot camp, a Curvy Girl boot camp. We went to work out, and she came with Christy, and that's where we met. Everyone I've ever dated, I met them in person. Like people.
Oh, I thought you said you met her on social media.
No. I'm saying most people probably won't take to me on social media because I mostly post about the brand. It's never any reason to try to get to know me any better. And everybody I've ever dated, it has always been like some face-to-face interaction, and then they just fall in love with me. They love me when they know me. When they get to know me, because I'm funny as hell. I'm hilarious. So but it's important for me, and I'm like you. We will be in the same house, and you know, my wife likes to sit out on the back patio. That is of no interest to me.
None.
It's hot. Like, I don't want to sit out there. So I will text her. How long are you gonna be outside? Or, you know.
Oh my God.
But at the same token, we have made it a rule that if we need to talk about something, and it's not a passing thing, like, can you remember to get bread on your way home from work? We pick up the phone and talk.
Okay.
Because texting is left to the reader's interpretation. And some of the biggest arguments I've ever gotten into has been over a misinterpreted text message.
Right.
So we
That's true.
we make sure that technology does not become our relationship.
Yeah, we did change that. Like I said, we changed that. If we need to talk about something serious, we gotta talk about it.
So, ladies, one thing I've come across is that doing our self-checking is that some of us have really bad attitudes. And I don't think a lot of us realize that our attitudes are bad or that we're bitchy. So I don't know if anyone has ever told you or you realize that maybe I am a bit angry. And I kind of don't want to start with that. I think some of that comes from being hurt and your defenses are up. You know, a lot of times when we get into relationships and we get hurt, our goal is to not get hurt again.
Yep.
So we put up this wall. And in putting up this wall, we're building this wall, but we don't realize all the things that come with this wall. We think the wall is protection, but it's really eating at a lot of stuff on the inside. For instance, we're hurt, we're putting up our defenses, so we start to make bad decisions. That could be either we're so angry, or we start to choose people that we wouldn't normally talk to.
That's the thing. I think, like when you say that, because I don't see myself as a very angry person, but I did have that stage where I felt like I was too nice before. Like, so I'm not gonna be nice anymore. So the next person I date, they're just gonna have to deal with this. Like, I'm just gonna have to give it to them, because if I step back, you know, and be that passive person, then I'm gonna get run over again. You know, it's gonna be like that same outcome.
But how do we go into relationships with that mentality? Like, I heard Perla say it, I'm hearing you say it, and I heard Keena say it. Like, they gotta deal with it, but you don't want to deal with whatever they come with.
Well, that's
you set standards for them, but when it comes to you, they just gotta deal with whatever.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, the way that I did it was because it was okay. So I guess I got stories. It was like, okay, so high school, of course, you date in high school. You date, you know. I wasn't a dater. I didn't have like 6 or 7 people I was talking to, but I probably had like 2 relationships while I was in high school. And those relationships all ended with them cheating. And it's like, it's because I was too nice to you. So you felt like you could just do that because I was so nice to you.
But that wasn't the reality of why they cheated.
Probably not. Probably not. They just did it because they felt like it. Yeah. So, you know, that I think plays into the whole checking in with yourself. Like, I looked at myself, I was like, okay, self, you was too nice. You was too nice.
That was
like,
checking.
Yeah, me and myself had a conversation. I was like, myself was like, I was like, you was too nice. And she was like, you're right, because when you seen that text message, you ain't even paying no attention. You ain't saying nothing to him. You just let it slide.
Because you didn't want to be confrontational.
I'm just saying. I was too nice.
That wasn't being too nice.
That was being nice because
that was avoidance. You were avoiding.
I was avoiding a confrontation, being nice.
And you know the thing I think a lot of us forget, we have all these feelings. You know, women have all these feelings, but we forget that men have feelings too.
I don't care about the
What is to act like it?
But they do.
But they do.
Oh, we just aren't perceptive to it. We don't realize that this is
It's not our job to guesstimate your feelings. They need to learn how to express.
Yes.
But here's the thing. If we all need to learn how to express. So the way you express may not be the same way I express. So we have to come to a happy medium as to where you can feel free and safe, because just like you've been hurt, they've been hurt, so I can feel safe expressing my feelings to you, and you on the other hand can be safe in expressing your feelings to me. But sometimes we don't create that safe space, because number one, like you said, no they don't, we don't think they have feelings, or he don't and honestly they do. But we want to get more into it in a second when we come back. We'll be back right here on your Curve Unplugged. We'll be back 2 and 2.
Apologetic and censored. And girl, unprompted. It's the Curve Unplugged.
Welcome back to the Curve Unplugged, and we are talking about, are you the reason you're still single? We kind of started ruffling some feathers here.
Yeah.
When I said that men have feelings too. See, I'm on y'all side today. I know y'all got feelings.
I don't want to hear all that.
Okay.
We know that they are people. You're a human being. You have feelings, but they really do.
You don't.
And then when I say express your feelings, I mean do something. Like, give me something.
But
Be
see,
mad,
right.
be upset, throw something, cry, do something.
Okay, but here's the reality.
That's
is,
a good
and
point, 'cause
most
they
of
don't
us
show
have
anything.
grown. That's right, because most of men have grown up with showing feelings as a sign of weakness. So when men don't cry, that was the biggest ism or thing.
Punch the
Men
wall.
don't cry. Men don't talk. They don't talk about their feelings. They don't cry. They were built to take it and keep moving, to show no emotion. So we're here very emotional against this emotionless person, because that's how he was seemingly emotionless person, because that's what they were taught. But men are very, very emotional.
Yeah,
They have feelings, and things we do to them hurt.
Yeah,
But
that's
they
true.
don't know how to, because they were never taught.
Okay, and
So if you're going to be that woman in his life, again, you have to make a safe space for him to be able to come and talk to you without you saying, you a crybaby.
yeah, but
And listen to what he's
that's
saying.
understandable.
And listen.
That's understandable.
Okay.
But making that safe space is me being vulnerable to you.
Right.
Me giving you that vulnerability. Like, if I, and I know, I guess this is going to sound wrong. If I can open up to you, you should see that you can do that back to me. You don't have to hold it in or hold back or hide what you feel if I'm opening my feelings up to you.
But you also have to understand that just because you're ready to talk about something,
Right,
and
it's
ready
all
to
timing.
express it, and ready to go into this whole deep, long, we could stay up all night type of thing, doesn't mean that they're ready to do it at that moment.
And that's fine.
It's not fine,
no,
because that's women now saying that, do something. If he punch a hole in your wall, you gonna lose your whole mind.
I am.
Because now you tearing up my shit, right?
But look, at
No,
least I know
like
that
you finna domestic violence.
Exactly.
No, okay, listen. This is what I'm saying. When you're trying to create a relationship with someone, you want to know that there are different levels of that person. Like, there's different realms of this person. You can be my protector, we can go spiritual, we can go, deep, we can talk about roots, we can talk about, my hurt, my pain, you know what I mean? You want that. And if I don't know that you are capable of it, then how are we going to create anything? Like, that's the problem that we all have when creating a relationship.
On the flip side, okay, because Coach is right. I'm single by choice, and not because I have a bad attitude, but the accountability that I took was, I know that I lay it on heavy, and I lay it on so heavy that I don't even give you a chance to express to me. So I do understand that, and that's the reason why I chose to be single, because my over-attachment stems from me not catering to myself. So I'm taking this time to cater to myself so that I can be healthy to somebody else without being overindulged in what they got going on.
I love that.
Okay.
And I think that what we also have to be careful of is not beginning to mimic the behavior we say we hate. Because a lot of women put up this tough, like, you become the tough guy. Now all of a sudden, what's wrong with you? Why you can't talk to me? Don't you hear me trying to talk to you? And you're pushing. But if he was doing that behavior, that's the behavior you hate. Because you don't want to be smothered and forced into something that you're not ready to do. But we do it so freely to others. As women, we can actually behave in the very way that we despise, and we call it being a strong woman, and it's not. That's a little girl who's throwing a tantrum.
So let me ask you a question. So you're saying is we're having an argument right now, and you're wanting to talk, and if he chooses to walk away, you have to just allow that.
Yeah. I agree with that. I agree with
And
that.
that's probably best for everybody involved.
So,
If he's taking
so
the
it takes a
accountability,
level of
maturity,
for that woman.
or and to know
Or man.
that it's time to cut this. Like, let's stop right here, because if he needed to walk away in the middle of you talking, that is probably a sign of restraint on his behalf.
True.
And a sign of maturity and a sign of respect for you, that maybe the next words out of his mouth would have been disrespectful or damaging.
But I'm like that. When I get
Or-
to a point, I need to walk away. And if you keep egging me on, then there's no telling what I'm gonna do. Let me walk away. Let me calm down.
So
and
you're one of those that
process.
walks away.
Not all the time, but if it gets to that point where I have to, please let me.
Just
Don't
happen.
bother me. Let me walk away from the situation. So I can calm down and we can come back and address the situation. But if you keep yelling at me and we keep talking, it's gonna go terribly wrong. The police gonna be called. Somebody might be walking around here in a body bag because you really don't know.
Walking in a body bag.
Yeah, because a lot of times when you get to like we talked about earlier, you get to this point and you're just boiling over.
Yeah.
You cannot
Rationalize.
what happens next.
Yeah.
So it's best to let cooler heads prevail and let that person go and let them come back when they're ready to talk.
My grandma used to say, do you want to win or do you just want to be right? Because you can be 100% right and lose. So what do you really want? Do you want to win? And I had to learn that the hard way. I had to learn that I need to process, because sometimes when I receive something, there's 10 voices inside of my head saying, you ain't gonna let them get away with that shit, is you? Like, I know, I have been willing to, like, I didn't drive to work, but you done pissed me off, and I'm gonna call an Uber and go home just so I could be confrontational with you. And I've had to learn how to process situations before I even respond to them, because those are the things that will keep you single. Those are the things, and it's not about being weak, because only a strong person knows their own limitation. It takes a very strong person to say, that's man or woman, to say, right now, I need to pull myself back. I need to step away. I need to take a time out so that I can process this and then come back to it. And that might look like lack of emotion to you, but you don't know what's going on up here inside that person's
My
mind.
only thing is, say it. Say to me.
What if I
Well,
can't?
so he can't say it at that point.
You can't say to me.
No, I just need to walk away. I can't say another word in this moment. I need to go.
No.
I
Please
really
don't
want
make
y'all
me
to stop
say-
being him and be
Please
y'all.
don't make
Because
I'm being me,
I'm
and I'm
being me.
telling you.
I've
Please
seen
do not-
plenty of people doing that.
I
Please
can't.
don't tell
Like,
the
give
words
me,
to me.
okay, I'm going off a reference of myself though. Like, when I need a moment, I can say,
You can say
I can go like this.
right,
Bravo.
but not everyone is like that, Miss
Everybody
Cody.
can't do
You know,
Everybody
I get
can't.
that. I get that.
No,
I,
he can't
Yeah,
say
no,
it.
I do get it.
So
I
he
get
can't-
it.
So he
I
can't
get
say
it.
that. So he can't say it. He can't say it.
Okay. You are really, she is such
I'm
an
acting like
instigator.
you. No, that's.
Oh my God.
But I want to talk about unhealthy relationships really quick. When we talk about defenses and being upset, and when I say unhealthy, I think we've all at some point got with someone who we know wasn't available, whether it's emotionally, physically, and that's a part of us. Another part of us being hurt, not getting over that hurt, and now our defenses are up. Because I know what I've said. Well, you know what? I don't want no man no way. So I don't care if he married, because he go home with his wife, and I'm good. I'm not the only person. Y'all
No,
can say
you're
it.
not.
You are.
No, you're not. You're not the only person, friend.
Y'all-
On this side of the
But we do that because I was in the space of not wanting to be hurt again. So this married man can't hurt me because he got his own
situation.
It's because you know it already.
right. Or
You're aware of it prior
and
to.
sometimes you may not. Well, yeah, sometimes you may, or sometimes you may not. But we still get into those relationships knowingly, or some person who we know is not emotionally available.
I have. I've dated a lot of guys who were emotionally unavailable, and I am super emotional. But I think it was a way of me not dealing with those emotions. And then they ended up being some of the worst heartbreaks because they're not emotional and I am.
Right.
So I'm at the point now in my life where, okay, I know I need that as a standard. I need you to be emotionally available.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to allow myself to get into another relationship with someone who's not comfortable being open and honest with me. Because if you don't recognize that you're a human, male or female, if you don't recognize that you're a human being that needs to express yourself, then you should not be dating anybody. What do you have to give?
That's a very good point.
What do you say?
That's too much self-awareness. People are not walking around with that.
Okay, maybe you just need
they're
one
not
more
walking around with
heartbreak
all that
because I've
self-awareness.
had enough heartbreaks to get to that point.
Yeah.
But I'm that. Wait, go ahead, Perla.
No, go ahead.
I've had a lot of self-realizations, and I do. There's certain things that I know I need, and if you cannot give me the things that I need, I am very comfortable at this stage in my life saying, "Have a nice day, sir. We are not on the same path. You need to go your way, and I'm going mine." I can't do it because it's not going to lead to something healthy for me.
Hashtag I'm good love.
Right, I'm good love.
While I was single. Oh,
No,
go ahead.
actually, I was just gonna speak for my single people and really just say that there's nothing wrong with it. I have with being single, with making that choice. And if you're single because you're waiting and waiting and waiting for that right person because you keep on. No, you're not good. You have your standards and you set these goals and you keep on knocking these people out. And now you're pushing forward. You haven't had the marriage, you haven't had the children, and now you've lapsed into a time where you now
do or die,
no, it's not even do or die. It's like it's okay. You have these people coming up to you, the family members, the siblings, the cousins, the co-workers. Oh, where's that husband? Where's the children? Have you thought about adopting? And there's people literally living their life and living their best life, dating themselves. I have a friend, it's a second trip to Dubai by herself. She goes and takes at Valentine's Day, wears a beautiful red dress and gets herself a nice dinner in a beautiful restaurant and sits at that table by herself. And she has no quarrels about it. She's fine with it. So, big up to the single people that really enjoy it. And I think that's the path that you need to take to be satisfied with yourself and not need that validation from anyone. Kind of just, it's okay to, I know what we're talking about, and we want people to delve into themselves and what it is that keeps them single. But if that is not that end goal, if marriage is not going to be that end goal for you because of your standards, whatever it is, it's okay to be alone, to be dating yourself, to be traveling by yourself, to be going out to dinner by yourself. And to me, it's like, really, that's what I was thinking about. Big ups to the people that could do that. You know what I'm saying? And there is nothing wrong with that either.
I don't think this show is even for them, because those people who have no desire to be in a relationship, because there are those people who are perfectly satisfied, single, no kids, no husband to worry about, no wife.
But I don't think they started that way. In my head, I don't think they started that way. I think they kept on doing, like Nikki just said in her last point, was like, okay, I'm good, sir. You're not for me. And what her standards are, you're not for me. And months and years could pass by until you meet or you maybe never will. Is that a way that you should check on yourself and see that where these standards are, or maybe you lower them, or maybe you make some adjustments to that?
But that's another point that I wanted to make, that this is so much that sometimes we do when we've been through that. Every time we check off our list, okay, now you might be on number 20. He can't all this. You got to have all this, and now you find yourself, you're 40, you're 50, and you have this list, and you refuse to waver on anything. So my point is, when is that realistic? When is this list realistic? Like, I know there are certain things that I need. There are certain things that I absolutely need, and that person can meet my needs. Okay, well, let's talk about the rest of this.
I think it's realistic when you know who you are. Because it's realistic because like you said, it's something you're not going to settle for. Nothing less. Now, all of the aesthetic stuff, I wouldn't be rigid on that. But as far as like being emotionally available, being honest, okay, things like that, I need that. I need those things, so I'm not going to compromise on that.
And I agree, there's nothing wrong with wanting to stay single, but again, I don't think that we're talking about ladies who desire, or women, people in general who desire to be in a relationship, whether it's marriage or long-term committed relationship, and you're wondering why I just can't.
Right, and I agree with you. But what I'm saying is that while you're looking for this person, you're still living the single life.
Right.
And so it's kind of committing to it, still being able to be by yourself and loving yourself through it, and knowing that maybe that didn't happen for you, the marriage and the children or whatever, because you've had these standards and you made these choices where some of us maybe didn't do that. It's like, okay, well, you know what, this guy wants to make a commitment, this guy, whatever, needs his papers, whatever it is that it's true, and whatever it is that you can make you fold it and whatever for yourself. And, here now you've had a kid and now you've done, you made these sort of adjustments, did it work out? Did it not work out? But, just along the way. But it's kind of like, and again, that to me, that's checking in with yourself and just, adjusting the list, making the standards. But at the end, I think through it all, just being happy with yourself and knowing you're okay if that doesn't happen to be. Because I think sometimes, and I know plenty of women that, haven't had children. And it's not what it's all cracked up to be. It is hard work.
And I'm one of those people that don't have kids, and I know that. But my mentality on it for me is that when I die, my legacy is gone. Because my bloodline stops with me. So I hear you. It's not all cracked up to be, but I do want a legacy. I want someone who say, yeah, that's my grandmother. She may have died before I was 5, but that's my grandma. That's my great grandma. Whoever it is. So for me, that's what my reality of it is.
And I'm gonna come back to the cracked up.
Understood.
But we're gonna come back because y'all answered my question about unavailable people.
Yeah,
so we're gonna come back into the Curve-Unplugged.
Apologetic and censored. And girl, I'm rocking. It's the Curve-Unplugged.
Welcome back to the Curve-Unplugged. Before we dive back into this really deep conversation, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And once you subscribe, hit that notification button so you will know get all notifications of when we post our videos.
That's right.
So we was having this, y'all. This is a very good conversation. So what you want to say, Coach?
We were talking about dealing with people who are unavailable. Mm-hmm. And I admittedly fell very hard for somebody who was not. Never didn't lie, so I want to put that out there. I know a lot of people think that people unavailable lie to you. Mm-hmm. No, the truth was told from day one. Like, I knew that this person was married. I knew it. I knew
that's
that
emotional unavailable. Is that what that's?
They were physically unavailable.
Okay, because I'm like, where does that fall in?
They were physically unavailable, and even though I knew that from day one going in, the relationship became a very emotional one.
For who?
Like for both of us.
For
both of us. So it had nowhere good to go. Mm-hmm. It had nowhere good to go. This wasn't somebody who said, I want to leave my wife and be with you. That's not what was said to me. There was at no point was that said to me. Mm. Now we have had those conversations about if I was single, like if we weren't together anymore, then maybe you and me and blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. But I knew going in the door that I was walking into something that had nowhere good to go. Mm-hmm. But oftentimes, even though our head knows the truth, our emotions can still drag us so deep in till you keep making excuses and explaining yourself away. Mm-hmm. Next thing you know, you 2 years, 3 years, and I don't know how many years can go by,
20.
and you doing the same, you in that same circle. Mm-hmm. And then you have to ask yourself a hard question. Those are probably some of the hardest relationships to pull away from, because what are you blaming them for? Like, is it their fault? No. Because they told you the truth. It's really failure to check in with you. Because even if you knew what you knew day one, you didn't ask yourself, am I really okay with this? Right. And if you were okay on day 1, on day 91,
you should still be okay.
Are you still okay? Because you should check in with yourself regularly. Yeah. And the day you get to that place where you're like, you know what? This don't feel good no more. I need more, and I need more than they will ever have to give to me. That's not about passing blame. Right. That's just about
But what
being
you're forgetting
accountable.
is that you fall in love in between those times.
Right.
And but at the very next time that you're checking in with yourself, and you know now I'm in love, because I was in love. This person was the sun and the moon, and I cannot blame them for anything. I still don't. You know, I don't even have any regrets about it. It was a lesson that I needed to learn.
Right.
That you only have control of what you do about a thing. You don't have control over how the thing comes into your life.
Right.
We meet people every day. You don't know who those people are going to be for you. But you do know that when you are making a conscious decision, then you're also responsible for the outcome, not just the other person.
And not only being married, but how many people have we met that said, you know what, I don't want a relationship.
Yeah.
I'm not ready, but we still
pursue.
okay, we're cool. So now you're in a relationship by yourself because this person told you they don't want a relationship.
Right.
So
they
6
never
months
claim
in,
you.
No.
Yeah.
So you're doing relationship shit, but y'all ain't know because you know what's gonna happen. That done told you. I've been told you that I don't want a relationship, right?
Yeah.
But then some of them say, you shouldn't have accepted this. You shouldn't have kept having sex with me. Why not?
Why not?
You kept giving it to me.
Right.
Why should I stop? If you keep giving it, I mean, really,
Yeah.
I like candy.
Right.
I was just thinking the same thing.
You keep giving me candy, I'm gonna take it. Why am I gonna stop taking it?
Yeah.
No, I mean
Yeah.
seriously, and we do this constantly. And I agree with Coach. We don't. If I'm okay with you not wanting a relationship today, I should be okay with you not wanting a relationship in 6 months, and I may be totally in love with you, but you still,
And they may love you back.
exactly.
They
but
might
you don't
love
want a
you right
relationship.
back.
And that happened to me. Totally in love with this guy. He didn't want a relationship, but I'm like, yeah, whatever. A year later, he still told me the same thing. If I called him today and asked him whatever, he's Johnny on the spot. But he just don't want a relationship. He want to live his best life on his own.
Yeah, I've
And
definitely
he's a very
done
good
that
guy.
before. I've definitely done that before. That cling to someone that's just like, but the only problem was like he wasn't emotionally unavailable or anything like that. He just didn't want a relationship. But it was like, how do you not want a relationship
with me?
Want to be with me?
Not even just be with me. Like I think it was like, how are you
To me, it's
saying you?
with me. Like, it's with me because you feel.
No.
Some
It was
kind of
like,
way about that.
how are you saying you don't want to be in a relationship, but everything you do for me, with me, around me is like a relationship? I was like so thrown off. I was like, all right, like, okay, and I'm trying to sit in this. You don't want to be in a relationship, so let me keep myself mindful and hold on to that. Just hold on it. Hold on to it. I was like, hold on to it. Don't let it go. And the moment I let it go, it was just like fireworks. Like, like a bomb blew up because it was like, wow, you really don't want to be in a relationship. But we've been doing all this relationship stuff. And I'm not just talking about, sex or, cuddling and all that, like that type. I'm talking about hanging out, going places, trips, stuff like that.
Something happens in your day, and this is the person you want to call.
Exactly.
About, right? Well, something happens in their day, and they want to call you
and tell me exactly. You get a promotion, first thing you do. Oh my gosh! Guess what?
Baby, guess what happened?
Exactly.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, so we doing okay, but we not. Okay,
We're not.
we not. And
I told you. I've been told you.
But how do you turn like while I was single, my whole thing was to turn wanting to be in a relationship with people off. Like I
understand it.
You know what I'm saying? That's exactly like I need to turn this off because if I want to be in a relationship with you, up in here, we in a relationship. We've been talking for 3 weeks, we in a relationship. We've been talking every day for 3 weeks, we in a relationship.
You hit it twice, we're in a relationship.
Hey, you hit it once, we in a
I've been able to
relationship.
turn that off, and I don't know if I'm just weird like that, but I really, that we have sex. I mean, when I'm in a relationship with you, we can have sex every day, dude. We ain't in no relationship. We just doing this. I've been able to turn that off now. When I was younger, no, it was like if I'm seeing you every day, we're talking because even for emotionally talking and getting in my head and we're getting that mental connection.
Yeah,
that does it for me.
Yeah,
but no. Okay, the first time you tell me you don't want a relationship, it's like
your whole everything changed.
Okay, we're good. Whatever you do, remember, dude, you said you want a relationship because I trust you. You gonna turn before I do. I promise you that. Never fails.
But my theory on all of it was that sometimes that big heartbreak from that person who you felt like we gotta be headed towards this relationship. We gotta be headed towards being, at least for me, that made me the wife I am today. Because I now know to listen to what I'm being told.
They
Don't
will tell
assume
you.
anything else.
They will tell
The
you.
only thing I assume these days is positive intent. I will assume that because it makes me function better. I assume positive intent. But the other half of that is I now listen to what you are saying. And I try to get you at the level where you are, not where I want you to be. Okay. But I had to have my heart literally ripped out to get that. And I think I ripped my own heart out. I don't think he had anything to do with it. I ripped my own heart out. But at that point, I had to learn to hear what someone is telling you. Listen to what you're being told. This is not about do what you're told. Listen to what you're being told. Process that, not what you want to hear, not the possibility of what could be. Let's listen to what's now, because that's how we start blaming people. You hurt me, you dragged me, you did this. No, because they've been telling you, showing you all the way, this is not it. But because of that hurt, because of how deeply that affected me, the wife I am today, she listens to what she's told. That's not about obedience. That's just about accountability right here. Checking in with Keisha. The things I know that my wife is not, that's not who she is, I don't hold her to that standard. I have to love her where she is for who she is.
Right.
So that's good, because I made the choice to be single, and I gained such a huge peace of mind. So my question to you as a wife, is it realistic for me, because I would love to be married one day, is it realistic for me to want to keep my peace of mind?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And like outside of work problems and whatever, but with my spouse, I want and have to maintain my peace of mind.
Absolutely. I believe that healthy relationships, as husband and wife, husband and husband, I believe that there has to be a part of you that's just yours. That at the end of the day, I am Yolanda's wife, but I'm still Keisha. So there's some things that Keisha is going to do, has to do, that's just about me. It's not about us. Let me go be me, and when I come back, I'm a better us. But if you let go of everything, and I think what you shared for the most part is when you fall in so deep, when you fall, it's all her. It's all this person right here. I'm all about this girl right here, or this guy right here. You know, I'm not Kina anymore. So it is important in any healthy relationship that your unique you, your genuine, authentic self is never lost in it. If you have to let go of who you are at your core to be with it, then that's not your person. Because your person is going to love that about you. The people who want to take it away from you, that's the thing that attracted them to you. So that's the thing they hate you for, because they don't want anyone else to be attracted to that.
Girl, hush. Let me. She got a hush.
Okay.
She got a hush.
I'm done.
So I want to piggyback off of that.
Wait, no, I want to piggyback off of it. That's why she got a hush.
Okay.
She got a hush. Ooh, you was in my soul. You know why you was in my soul too. Hey, when I tell you this is Coach Key, she's a life coach. Okay, so when she go deep, it's deep, and I'm gonna be transparent with y'all. So because this is mine. She's giving you mine. This is what she just told me like a couple of weeks ago. I'm gonna say weeks. It was weeks. This is what she just told me. So because you're saying when you get with somebody, you give them your all. That's not gonna change, because that's you. You're going to dive in, because that's what I did. When I met my husband, it was like, all right, well, let me see what he need. Let me give him what he need. So in giving someone what you're seeing that they need, you take a little bit of you away. But you have to maintain that. It's so hard to get her back. It is so hard to get her back. Trust me. But once they can see that you're trying, you have to be able to be honest with yourself and with them. Like, listen, I lost a little bit of me, trying to make sure that this relationship flourished for you. Not even just for me, because I knew it was gonna flourish, because you came after me. You know, I know you wanted to be with me. But let me do a little something to, show you. Let me show you something. I can be this, Then you have to maintain you. While you're doing whatever it is that you want to do to show him, still maintain you. because once you dive so deep, like one thing I did for my husband, which he knows it, so he knows that we had this conversation. I am a social butterfly. I be everywhere. I be with you. I be with you. Where we going? Where we at? What we doing? Although ours happened all at once, like baby, marriage, we moved, live together, boom. I had like 16 life changes at one time. Like no joke. But once we got control of our life changes, it was like, okay, now you got to find you again because you have became my husband and a daddy at the same time. So now you got to go be you. Find your you. Oh, this your you? Oh, that's not. I don't want to be a part of that. That's boring. You could do that by yourself.
I can't do.
You could do that by yourself. All right, this is what I like to do. So you're going to do that by yourself, and I'm going to do this by myself. So I think, like, when I was single, my mindset was like, oh, who going to check code? Nobody ain't going to check code. And I did what you said. I did that. I'm single. I want to be single, so I don't care what you want. But when my husband stepped in, and 2 weeks after we started talking, he was like, so you're going to be my wife. I was like, what? Who? Not I? Because I'm going to be single, you know? But once the guy finds you, because he who findeth
A wife.
Find
it the good thing.
The person that's going to marry you is going to find you. You're not going to find him. So once they find you, then the transition is going to be easier. But because you are that person that like, you're going to do it. You're going. That's your initial. That's not going to change for you.
I don't think you have to give up all of you to be that though.
Yeah.
Like I think that you can still be that loving and affectionate and all those great things. I think you can still be that and still have your unique, authentic self in check.
Yeah.
He needs to be your number one fan. I look out into that audience. That's my man right there. My man is sitting right there. This video, I know he gonna watch this video.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know that he gonna subscribe, he gonna share, he gonna comment, he gonna say, baby, I'm proud of you. I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Go on and do your thing. Like, I feel like all of your authentic, unique self all of that will come together, because the same way he cheering you on with your thing, you cheering him on with his thing. And that will keep you from being single. But it's that we always feel like, if in order for you to be for me, you gotta either give up all of your, gotta give up all your friends and all your stuff to go do everything that I want to do, or I gotta give up my friend. This right here is my best friend. This bitch ain't going nowhere. If you can't take her, then you can't have me, because she can come to wherever I stay and sit there all she wants to. Because understand that in order for me to be healthy in a good place, I need her in my life.
And you know what? When I meet people, if I meet a guy and he tells me he has no friends,
no,
I can't
That's
date
weird,
him.
right?
I can't date him, because what that has turned into, what that's gonna be is now you see I'm doing this.
Yeah, they want you to be like them.
Now, why you have to go through that? Why want you all to myself?
Right.
Yeah.
Why you have every third Sunday? Why y'all can't do it on the second Sunday?
Yeah.
Well, why y'all gotta do it at all? Like, why y'all can't just do one show, one
Every 6
day?
months.
Yeah. And then that turns into me. You have to be with me. No, you have no friends, sir. I'm good, love, because I need you to understand the importance and the concept of sharing, number one, and being friendly and having that connection with other people who's not your spouse or your girlfriend or boyfriend. Because if you don't have that, you don't understand my relationships with my friends, and you're not gonna want me to be with them.
Yeah.
You know what's worse than that? People who not having friends is the ones that don't even have a good relationship with their family.
That
That's even worse.
That
Because,
you run
like
from
my daughter's father, he didn't really have a lot of friends, but he had a phenomenal relationship with his family, his mom, his siblings. So that was at least like the best.
Yeah.
Because I'm my first husband. Nobody came to our wedding.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like I think it was the parents, and then like probably one sibling, and he had like at least 4 or 5 siblings.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
His relationship with those siblings were like nil. Yeah, so that was like probably the first clue. Like, why don't you even get along with your siblings? Like, what is it about you? And always falling out in relationships, and and that's how we ended up. So even that, but at least getting along with their family, because there's people that are loners and don't necessarily need. Whatever issues brought them to not be that type of person.
Yeah.
You know, as long as they could be them and let you be you, then it's fine.
Yeah.
But that's just them. You gotta, know that there's people that are like that. You know, that more, read their books and whatever. They could be lonely. That's not lonely for them, but
It's not.
It's not lonely for them, but for us that are social butterflies, it's different. It's like that's what they prefer, and that's what I prefer. But as long as you're loving me, we're loving each other through our ways. Yeah, but to me, it's like the ones that don't even get along with their family. Those are the ones you literally need to run away. Like, okay, what issues are you going through? Like, what's going on?
And I want to know how you treat the people you say you care about.
Exactly.
Like that matters to
Right.
me. I need to know if you say your kids, who you say are your friends. How do you treat the people who were in your life before I ever showed up? Or is this your representative? Because your truth comes in time, right? And if you tell me you and Cola been friends for 10 years, but you could tell me every ounce of dirt about Cola, and you willing to share that so easily with me, the new person in your world, then I'm already like red flag. Because how do you treat the people you say you care about?
Right.
All of those things matter, and I think that's all a part of like my internal checklist. Like you said, the aesthetic stuff, shorter, taller, fatter, skinnier, whatever.
It's true.
How much money they made, what kind of car they drive, all those things. But at the foundation, at their core, at their foundation, that foundational level that don't cost you no money. How do you treat your mama on Mother's Day? Do you even remember her? Or do you call her at 11:59 just so you got it in before midnight and say Happy Mother's Day? How do you treat the people you already say you care about? How do you treat your job? Do you just show up whenever, do whatever, don't show up, don't call out, they gotta try to find you? All those things to me speak to who you are at your core.
So many aspects.
And I may love everything about the way you look, everything about our pillow talk, all that. But if you are nasty and just disconnected from the people and things that you say you care about, your biggest commitment is to your Xbox?
Oh no.
I can't.
We're going to end it there. We'll be back with the Curve Unplugged in 2 and 2.